everybody, I'm PeanutButterGamer, and welcome to another episode here on PBGGameplay. Today, we will be doing something a little bit different. We are playing Asagao Academy NormalBoots Club. It is a dating sim where you can date NormalBoots members. And even though I've known about this game for a long time, it's been in development for like 2 years, even though my wife has been working on it for 2 years, even though I saw her working on it all day, every day for 2 years, I'm still surprised that it's actually a real thing. I can date myself in a game. It's pretty crazy, so let's go ahead and try it. Here we go, play! I'm nervous. I don't know what to think about this. Okay, so in case you're wondering, I actually am not gonna do a full series on this game. I'll have some links in the descriptions for some full playthroughs you can see, but mostly just because I want you to play it. You should go play it. If not, you should check out Jared's playthrough, and maybe I might have some other things in there. But yeah, link in the description. You can download the game. It's completely free, so go check it out. All right, here we go. The train made its way along the gentle curve of the coast of Japan, whisking me further and farther from home. Across from me sat a boy, face half buried in a newspaper. He was deeply entranced in whatever article he was reading and hadn't spoken a single word to me, even when I asked if I could join him in the last compartment with any available space. He shrugged, nodded, and adjusted his newspaper without ever making eye contact. It'd been almost an hour. In fact, he hadn't once looked at me. Devoid of conversation, I took instead to counting the buttons on the pretentiously lush carmine seat cushions. 1, 2, 3, 21, 22, and so forth, over and over. Now and again, I turned to look out the window where the trees were blurring by. Sometimes the smeared green would break and reveal the quiet blue of the Sea of Japan. Eventually, this rapidity made my stomach churn, and I went back to counting the buttons on the seat cushions. 1, 2, 3. I gotta turn off Skype! Crandor, leave me alone! Trying to date myself, okay? Sheesh! The train compartment shuddered around us. Actually, I have no idea who I'm gonna go for first. I think I'm just gonna play, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of the game or so you guys can see it. And I just kind of want to show the game off. I just can't believe that this is a thing that exists. Anyway, we're back into the game. My eyes wandered to the boy and his jacket. It wasn't the school-issued blue that I and the other students on the train were wearing. Instead, it was a green varsity-like jacket with an embroidered patch poorly sewn in front. So it's apparently one of the normal... It's Jared! There he is, sparkling in all his glory. So, you're a first year then? He folded his, I don't know how to do a Jared voice. He folded his newspaper neatly, set it in his lap, and looked at me with a half-interested gaze. Did he just catch me staring? Now that the paper was gone, I saw his face. He watched me through heavy-lidded eyes. His hair was immaculately groomed, his teeth straight and blindingly bright. I don't know why I'm playing a game that is all about reading when I cannot read. So far, doing okay, but just throwing that out there. Might make some mistakes here and there, because I'm kind of, what would the word be? Spacey? Let's just go with spacey. There was something about him, the way the light hit him, that made him look like he was almost sparkling. Me? I love the art when Hana pops up. He glanced around the compartment, empty besides us, and I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. Oh no, I'm not a first year, I'm a third year. The train began to slow, metal wheels groaning against metal tracks. The sudden shift threatened to rob me of whatever was left in my stomach, but I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, willing myself to keep it together. What kind of impression would I leave, puking on a student before I even arrived at the academy? The boy frowned. I picked at the hem of my cotton skirt. My cotton skirt? I want to cosplay as Hana. Screw cosplaying as myself. I need a Hana cosplay. That would be great. I would keep the beard too. That would make it look even better. That's not possible. I've never seen you before. It took me a moment of mouth fishing to find a response. It's because I'm a transfer student? He laughed again. A transfer student, huh? We don't get many of those. I removed my acceptance letter from the front pocket of my uniform. The paper, heavy weight, off-white, had accumulated creases from my reading, as if the words might have changed since the last time I read it. The boy took it, studied it, and handed it back to me.
I'll see you around.
I'll see you around. Good work, Jared. I like it.
I'll see you around.
Well then, Hana, I suppose I'll be seeing you around. If you didn't know, all the NormalBoots guys actually did some small voiceover bits I'm not sure if that was the first line that popped up or not, because I was too busy reading and I had my volume down a little bit. But it should be popping up here and there. He smiled at me as he picked up the suitcases lying next to him. Pause! I gotta use some Burt's Bees over here, because my lips are so dry I can't read. Can't read good. Okay, by the time I hiccuped a response, he was already gone from the compartment. I stared out into the empty hallway of the train. It was then that I realized he, having gotten it from my acceptance letter, knew my name, and I never got his. It's Jared. I already know it. The train settled at the station, and I filed out with the rest of the uniformed students. I'm so excited to be playing this. It was early April, and the last front of winter had come and gone. This is so crazy. The trees were already green, their leaves shivering in the occasional gust weaving through them. The air was mild, only a few clouds hanging in the sky. I walked along the road with a swarm of blue-jacketed bodies looking at the little groups breaking off from the crowd. Everyone was buzzing so animatedly around me. I held my suitcase tight in my sweaty hands. It was leather-bound and worth more than anything it contained. It wasn't far to the school, and I was, for maybe the first time in my life, thankful that what I owned didn't amount to much. My school-issued black Oxfords click, click, clicked on the pavement. I walked this walk over and over in my mind. So many nights I lay awake imagining what it would be like to walk from the train station to Asagao Academy for the first time. My new start. I always imagined that everything would change for me on this walk, that somehow everything would be magically different. But as I looked around, I realized nothing had changed. I hadn't changed. This music, so touching. By the time I reached the massive gate to the academy, I forgot all about the disappointment slouching in the back of my throat. The school, framed by the gate's twisting black metal, was just as beautiful as the glossy photos I saw in its pamphlets. This was it, Asagao Academy. I glanced around, the swarm of students gathered around the gate. Beyond it, tiny blue people bounced around the academy. They're aliens! Bounced around the academy's main building. A girl pressed a button to one side of the gate. The excitement in the air was almost palpable. A few moments later, the black gate, with great effort, creaked outward and cleared the pathway. As the rest of the group shifted into motion, I followed along, a sheep in the herd. My stomach tied itself into knots. The crowd split off in different directions. For a moment, I panicked. Who is this old guy? A tired-looking man with a graying hair called out for first years. A cluster of fresh-faced students gathered around him. Hey, look at that girl! I turned a few feet away. A small group of boys were pointing at me and snickering. Pink hair, are you kidding me? How desperate can you get? Hot shame crawled down my neck. Man, wonder what that would feel like. Hot shame. I attached myself to a group of girls, following a few steps behind them. In the distance, cicadas hummed in time to my shoes crunching against gravel. My hair. It wasn't my fault that my hair looked like this. Luckily, I found myself at the girls' dormitory, a large sign in the lawn reading Primrose House. The building dwarfed me in size and sheer intimidation. How many students did Asagao have? Who do we have here? As I approached, I recognized this sprite. As I approached the building, a red-headed girl lingering nearby caught my attention. I looked away, then looked back. She was staring at me. She walked over.
Oh, you must be my roommate!
You must be my roommate! I eyed her warily. She was smiling and bouncing in a way that suggested her views on life were akin to a perpetual bouncy castle.
What?
Me?
Bingo.
Of course, you silly. I love these voice actresses. Of course, you silly. Let me guess, room 325. I thought back to the paper I received a month prior with a list of all the supplies I needed for the year and my dorm arrangements. Yeah, that's right. She laughed, but I couldn't figure out what was so funny. Was she laughing at me? When I found out my roommate was a transfer student, I knew you were gonna be a total main character. I'm sorry? A what? When I saw you outside the gate, I knew it was you. I mean, look at that hair! I felt a lump forming in my throat. What was she talking about? She had to be making fun of me. I hadn't spent more than 5 minutes on campus, and I was already being mocked. My hands began to tremble. Oh no! Is there something wrong with my hair? Her face slackened from its amused smile to a more worried expression. Then she began to laugh again. No, it's great, I'm sorry.
Oh, we're getting off on the wrong foot, aren't we? Oh gosh. I'm Mai Sasaki. You must be Hana.
I bowed my head.
Hello.
I've never played a dating sim or done one on this channel before, so I'm not exactly sure how to be doing this, but I think it's going okay so far. It's nice to meet you, Mai. All your school books are waiting in your room with your welcome letter, and I read the envelope. I hope you're not mad. Mai started walking toward the dorm's front doors. I followed behind like a lost puppy. Did you check in at the front desk already? No, I didn't. I didn't know I was supposed to. Good. They'll offer to have a staff member give you a tour of the campus, but I can show you around. We don't get many transfer students in year 3, you know. Oh, is that your only bag? Just the one? I'm glad I brought an extra bag of stuff to decorate the room with. I started already. I hope you don't mind. I guess I don't mind, but I did wait to string the lights. I thought we could do it together, you know. She spoke quickly, the words bubbling from her mouth, and left me no time to answer until the end of her monologue. Yeah, okay, that sounds good. She held the front door open for me, and I hurried inside. Ooh, nice pink walls. Girls filed up and down the hallway, howling greetings and exchanging vague niceties that were, more often than not, how was your break? And look how tan you got. It seemed like everyone knew each other. I followed Mai as she led me through the maze of students and up 2 flights of stairs. Each dorm floor looked the same as the last. Narrow, white doors lining both of the sides of the pale pink walls. Thin gold numbers were tacked to the front of each, the numbers rising as we climbed. You're not missing anything with the campus tour, I promise. Miss Saitomo does them every year, and he's... Oh, Mr. I don't know why I read that as Miss. And he's like totally dull. He just drags you around the entire campus and talks in that weird squeaky voice of his. I'll tell you everything you need to know. I smiled, trying to let this calm my nerves. Thanks. We headed down a hallway on the 3rd floor. Mai stopped us in front of door number 325. Here we are. I love these things in the background. Obsession, Alvin Stein. It almost looks like a picture of Jared. I can't tell who that is. But, Tortured Souls. The Only My Guitar Understands Me World Tour. Great. A faint smell of potpourri wafted through the room. The walls, like the hallway, were a soft powdery pink. Mai already defaced them with a tapestry of posters, magazines, and cutouts and photographs. Some of the photos were of cats, but most were of male models and rugged musicians. A bunk bed with 2 writing desks and with wooden chairs, a small dresser, and a mirrored vanity, all clearly provided by the school, were the only pieces of furniture in the tiny room. The top bunk was already covered in neatly tucked blankets and throw pillows of clashing patterns and colors. The bottom bunk had a single stiff-looking pillow with a thin cotton blanket that I didn't need to touch to know was horribly itchy. I must have grimaced because Mai quickly smiled at me. I brought way too many pillows and blankets. I always overpack. I went to Italy over break and Mom got really mad at me because I bought 5 bags but were only... How much money do you have to spend, Mai? Sheesh! She laughed, pulled several blankets and pillows from her bunk, and rearranged them neatly on mine. A sudden twinge of guilt and embarrassment hit me.
Perfection.
Perfection. There, that's much better. Thanks, Mai. I placed my suitcase on the bottom bunk and began to unpack its contents. Several changes of clothing, pens and pencils, empty notebooks, a few photographs of my father, a dilapidated stuffed rabbit, an old portable radio, and a small black box. Mai opened the curtains and the sunlight poured in. So, where are you from? I slid the now empty suitcase under the bottom bunk. About 2 hours north of here, it's a small town called Amarisu. I feel like I could do better with that, but I'm gonna not. You probably haven't heard of it. I set the stuffed rabbit, Mr. Bunny, on my bedside, a purple and teal throw pillow. Oh, did you go to a different boarding school, or? No, I went to a public school down the street from my house. Public school? What was that like? Were the students mean? Did you have a lot of friends? I always went to private schools. My parents work a lot, and my dad goes overseas, so I think they stuck me here for convenience. Oh, hey, what's that? I'd remove an ornately patterned origami crane from the black box and I removed an orange. Okay, that makes more sense. And was setting it on the unclaimed writing desk. Oh, this? My mother made it for me a long time ago. I set it beside a stack of thick textbooks, which I assumed were provided for me.
Aww.
Wow, it's so pretty. I've never seen paper like that before. Oh yeah, the lights. Let me go get them. Mai went over to her desk, opened the drawer, and pulled out a long tangled string of fairy lights. I thought these would look nice. Here, help me string them up. She grabbed a container of push pins, then pulled her wooden desk chair out and over to one wall. I did the same with my own. Together, we pinned the lights around the perimeter of the room. How was the train ride over? Did you meet anyone? No, not really. I was in a compartment with some guy and...
What?
Some guy, huh? Was he cute? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't even get his name. Mai seemed disappointed for a moment, then perked back up. You'll have to point him out to me if you see him again. Oh, okay. Once we finished stringing the lights, Mai climbed down from her chair and brushed her hands together triumphantly.
Yeah!
Yeah! Done! Okay, now it's time for lunch. The food here is pretty good. There's this ramen place down the street from campus that's like out of this world. But the school only lets us leave campus on the weekends. Mai walked to the window. We could go today because it's Sunday, and it's pretty nice out, but I guess you might want to go to the caf since you just got here. We could... She was suddenly interrupted by her own enthusiastic laughter. Oh my gosh, Mimi Santos totally just tripped outside and fell on her face. I saw it. Oh, is that mean to laugh? Maybe I shouldn't have. Come on, Mai. I like her. Oh well, anyways, let's go eat. I'm totally starved. I don't know, guys. Kind of feeling Hana Mai here. Like, I feel like that should be the canon here. Forget me, the stupid NormalBoots guys. The cafeteria was buzzing with students excited for the new year. The only people as nervous looking as I felt were the tables of skittish, wide-eyed first years. I stepped into line behind Mai, taking an empty plastic tray. We shuffled through, asking for helpings from the sulky cafeteria workers when we passed something that looked good. With full trays, Mai led me straight to a table in the back where a few students were already sitting. Mai sat down and I took a seat across from her. Who's this? Hi, Mai. How was your break? It was good. I went to Italy and Spain. Dad fell off a ski jet and broke his ankle.
Uh-huh.
It's better now, though. That's good. Oh, well, that's nice. I expected to be introduced, but the girl turned back to her group of friends, and Mai turned back to me. She began to assault her food with a fork and tell me in a practically minute-by-minute account of her fleeting romance last summer with a boy she met on the beach that didn't go further than a few salty kisses. I sat back and let Mai talk. For the first time since arriving on campus, I felt like I was finally able to breathe. I picked at my Brussels sprouts and studied Mai as she spoke. The more she talked, the more I began to notice small details about her. She had a high songbird voice.
What?
She was dynamic, her face twisting this way and that into exaggerated expressions as she spoke. She laughed often. She imitated people in wildly unflattering voices, seemingly unrelated to her actual opinion of them. But most notably, she talked. A lot. I didn't find this particularly annoying as it filled the silence and she hardly ever asked questions that required my full attention. Just as Mai was rounding off a shockingly detailed account of the time she accidentally walked in on her friend's older brother and the act of changing, a flash of familiar green caught my eye. I glanced over. Hey, that's him! Oh, we're gonna meet Jared again? Huh? Who? I leaned across the table to whisper just in case he could hear me through the ambient chatter of the lunchroom. The boy from the train, that's him.
What?
Jared? Yeah, with the weird green jacket and swoopy hair. He just picked up his tray and was walking past us when something seemed to catch his eye. Ooh. Hey, Jared. Well, what's up?
I'll see you around.
Oh, you. I looked up at him, suddenly realizing he was talking to me. Hana, I met you on the train. How are things settling down for you? Really well. I found my roommate. She's just sitting there blushing. I found my roommate and she'd been helping me out. I gestured to Mai, who was thunderstruck. In fact, looking around, everyone was. People stopped eating and turned and stared at Jared and me, my shoulders bunched around my neck. Well, if you ever need any help, I'll be around. 30 year, right? I nodded.
All right.
Some of my friends are in that year. Of course, they can't compare to me, but I'll give them the heads up to look out for you. He flashed a dazzling smile, then winked. It's the least I can do for such a cute girl. Well, I'll see you around.
I'll see you around.
Mai is still just sitting there, blushing like crazy. I watched a torrent of thoughts raging through my head as he took a seat next to a bunch of guys who were all wearing the same jacket. That's Jared! She tore her eyes away from him and looked at me.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. He's the most beautiful guy in school.
Oh, Jared.
I can't... I gotta see that again.
He's so cute. Oh, Jared.
That's like the best line ever. I can't believe he just looked at me. I looked at Mai. Her cheeks were glowing an indecent pink. Why do they all wear these jackets? Aren't all the guys supposed to wear blue blazers as a part of their uniform? No, they're allowed to. You know, Jared. Wait, oh, that's someone. Okay, that's Mimi. Mimi had turned back around and was looking at me with sudden interest. Did I know him? I only talked to him on the train for a few minutes, so not really. We weren't friends or anything. But looking around, Mai and this girl weren't the only ones who were interested. Everybody seemed to be listening in. They seemed so surprised when he talked to me. Maybe a little white lie couldn't hurt. I mean, I don't see it's not that wide of a lie. I mean, we met. I guess so. The girl looked me up and down as if she were inspecting a piece of furniture for purchase. I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself earlier, did I? I'm Mimi. Nice to meet you. So, how did you meet Jared? Oh, come off it, Mimi. Jared's not interested. Mai and Mimi stared at each other for a few seconds, having some kind of silent mental battle. Then Mimi turned away and continued to eat. Sorry, it was clear that she was just trying to get in with you for her own agenda, so I cut her off. Get in with me? Why? Well, you asked me about those guys in their jackets, right? Those are their NormalBoots Club jackets. They're... What? What's NormalBoots Club? This is so great. Oh, this song. Look at Jared just like staring at himself. He's staring at himself in a freaking Oh, this is amazing. Okay, it's a club. Sorry, give me a second. It's a club we have at school. It's like totally exclusive and full of only the coolest students. Yeah, totally. Just the coolest guys, definitely. They get together and play video games. Or something. That one right there is John, also known as Jontron. His bird's name is Jacques. Jacques wearing a jacket too. That's great. John is also the president of the drama club here at school. Next to him is PBG. He and John founded the NormalBoots Club together. PBG is one of the best soccer players on our team. Yeah, sure. One of the best, definitely. Then there's Gerard. People call him the completionist because he's obsessed with completing things. He has the biggest itty bitty kitty collection I've ever seen. Next to him is Jared, also known as Pro Jared. He's a model. Then there's Satchbag, but everyone calls him Satch. He's like crazy smart. Yeah, that's fair. Those guys over there are Paul, Nick, and Josh. They write a column in the school newspaper. Sorry, this is too much. Called Continue. Paul, the one standing up, is the student council president. And the guy on the end there is Shane. He knows more about video games than anyone, ever. I hear that Shane's route is very hard to get the perfect ending for. So yeah, she exhaled a dreamy sigh in her mashed potatoes. So, how would someone you know join the NormalBoots Club? You don't choose the boots, Hana. The boots choose you. Okay, so I think I'm gonna end it off there. I just kinda wanted to show the game off. I really highly recommend you guys go check this game out. It's amazing. This is I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. I'm so excited to play this. I'm gonna play every route. I don't want to spoil it though. So if you do want to see more, I believe that Jared is doing a full playthrough, I think, of my route on his channel. I'll link to that if it's up. It should be up, I think, by the time this goes up. So go check that out if you want to see more. Definitely go download the game. It's free, completely free. You can play it for free, and I'm sorry. I'm just speechless. I don't know what to say. Go date me or something. Go date the NormalBoots guys. I'm sorry. Okay, I have to end this. I'm just like shocked after seeing that intro and all the NormalBoots guys. This is freaking crazy. Okay, if you had told me when I started doing videos, what was it, in 2009? Hey, you're gonna be on a dating sim game. I would have thought you were crazy, but here it is, and it is pretty awesome too. It's great. Go check it out. I'll see you guys on the next video. I'm hitting my own microphone. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and again, check out the game. Asagao Academy, NormalBoots Club. Bye-bye!